Welcome back. This is our moment in history. There's a lot of talk between the political parties regarding how much gun control and how many guns and what should America have. Well, let's hear firsthand from someone who lived through a regime that confiscated guns. Maury?
In 1937, when I and my family, of course, lived in Germany, and we were a privileged family. I mean, even though my family was Jewish, they had all the connections. My grandmother, I think I mentioned several times, her significant other, I guess you would call it today, was the chief of staff of the German army. So we weren't hurt that badly. But in 1937, my father, who had been a decorated officer with the Iron Cross twice in the Austrian army, was highly regarded, respected, was told he had to give up the gun his sidearm that he had when he was an officer in the Austrian army. He said, I was told that I can keep that. He said, no. First of all, when they took it away from the Jews automatically when Hitler came in, now everybody has to give up their guns. In 1937,
Every German.
Everybody, German, anybody that lived in Germany had to give up their rifles, their guns, slingshots, whatever they had. And it's interesting, it almost came in conjunction with the only election that was ever had in Germany when Hitler was in power. It was a matter of you approve or disapprove of the Fuhrer. Of course, you went to an electoral place.
100% approval.
No, it was only 80%, but you always had an SS guy standing there watching you vote. So Thuringen and Silesia, which were big labor areas, actually voted against them, but that was another story. The point was they tied this together because Hitler was getting ready to go to war. And he didn't want any problem, any chance that there was any element within Germany that was able to stand up to him. So he got this phony vote at the same time that he took away all the guns. And that was smart on his part because there was nobody that could defend himself. If a Nazi broke in and wanted to take whatever he wanted, there wasn't any way you could defend yourself.
So let's say you're an SS. You can have your gun while you're working, but then you have to give it up when you go home. Is that the idea?
No. The SS was part of the.
So they got to keep their guns.
Well, no, they were part of the ruling class. No, you see, you're confusing something here. The SS, the Gestapo, the military, which of course was.
Were always armed.
Always armed. That was those people were part of the Nazi control.
War machine.
It wasn't even the war machine. It was the machine that dominated Germany. So consequently, they were the ones that had the guns. You know what's the most interesting of all? There was only one murder that was ever committed in Germany during the war years. I'm talking about where some crazy guy killed a bunch of people. The German criminology was non-existent during the war. You know what I mean? There was no civilian criminology.
And how many people were in Germany at that time?
About 80 million.
So you're talking about 1/3 or 1/4 of the population of the United States. And we've had a lot longer to build up the arms in this country. It would be impossible to remove all the guns.
Well, the whole thing is based on a false premise.
That wraps up another edition of the World Report. If you want to see the show again, catch a segment that you missed, it's easy. You just go to YouTube, search Moritz Beschloss. For Maury Beschloss and all those wonderful folks here in the United States, the armed forces, the police, the firefighters, all the ones that work each and every day to keep us safe, I'm Scott Crowfoot, and God willing, we'll do this again.